It was supposed to be 2:30 and then 9:30, and I went to get my tablet, and it's completely dead, and the charger's in my suitcase. Hey, Claire.
Hi.
Wow.
Well, first of all, happy Mother's Day to everyone, and thank you for taking the time to join us tonight. But we are going to go over some different types of shows, and by all means, I'm not the expert. I'm just kind of leading the call, so please feel free to ask away or give feedback of any sort. So first of all, as you know, the station style shows, some it works for others. It's totally up to you what you feel comfortable and kind of how you read your guest. Some guests, at least in my experience, some are like, I just worked all day. I don't want to get off my butt. I don't want to do anything. And so I kind of take the lead and just do all of the demonstrating myself. And then others, I try to get engaged as much as possible. So that is how Pampered Chef came up with the station style show. But then also specialty shows, Kelly Smith out of Janesville kind of started doing a barbecue and beer tasting. I've done one of those in the past, and it was a great success. It was actually a couple's party, and anytime you get the guys together cooking and drinking, of course they love that. But she just had 2 big coolers full of a variety of different beers. Otherwise, some people will say, everybody bring your favorite 6-pack. And then we demoed, we used the burger press when that was brand new and made burgers on the grill and just had a fun time. The host had salads and that kind of stuff to go with it. But otherwise, I know I got a lot of these words from Claire, but party on the patio, daiquiris on the deck. I've done parties strictly outside. I've only gone inside to wash my hands. So, party on the patio, daiquiris on the deck, that's a great way to get people ready to party, especially with the summer season. Take advantage of it. Some people say, oh, we're too busy, but then you can make a spin saying it's great weather outside. Let's do everything outside. Less stress on the host to kind of clean their house. So you can do that. And then also Pampered Chef has party packs. I did go on and look. They have 11 of them. And what I have found that works for me, and you can just take the information, go with it however you want, but I've actually printed out the party packs, and then I put them in the sheet protectives, put them in a binder, and at the dollar store or at an Office Max, however, you can get dividers. So that when people say, oh, I'd love to have a party, but I'm not really sure, what to do. And then I can say, well, here's this binder, and they might get overwhelmed, but then there's fun pictures. And you can also, instead of using up your ink, instead of doing one full page, to one piece of paper, you can make it smaller and do 4 per page. So you're not using as much ink and paper to do that. And then it's not as overwhelming to your guests trying to decide what they want to have as a party. But have a fiesta, have salad and sangria. It's summer. A lot of people want to eat less. Course, they drink more then, but so kind of make a play on words like the party and the patio. You can be creative however you want to do that, or ask, what's your favorite food, and between you and the host you can come up with whatever you want to call it. And then fundraisers, I have done a few, but not a whole lot. There are different ways to do it. If you do want more information, by all means contact your director if you have someone interested, because I found out you can't just put, well, it's how Pampered Chef writes a check. It has to be in the person's care of, or it has to have foundation or fundraiser attached to the name. There's little ins and outs like that. You can either set it up as a fundraiser, and then Pampered Chef gives their discount. You can give part of your commission with it. Or if you want, you can write a check with what commission you would make off of it, and you can keep the hostess benefits. So there are many ways to look at fundraisers. But fundraisers, and we're going to talk about bridal shows, those two, you have to be intentionally telling people about them. Because if you're not telling people at your parties, hey, we offer fundraisers, we do bridal showers, you have to explain that to people when you're doing your intro, or at some point you need to tell people, because otherwise, how do people know that? If you're not telling them, they don't know it. Bridal showers, I actually have one coming up this Saturday. I have 30 people coming. And this is honestly my third one, but my second one, I developed a board. And I think Claire and probably Mary Lou has seen it, I think, when I was at Paula's. But I just took a board from Office Max, and then the trifold board, and then I printed out the virtual, I'm trying to think, index. And then you could either laminate or use duct tape if you don't have not duct tape, but packing tape, and laminate just little sheets. And then I cut each individual product that Pampered Chef sells, so it's all laminated. And then I went to Walmart and I just bought Velcro that was already cut in nice little squares, and I put that on the back of the laminated little square products. And then whatever is on the wish list, I posted on that board. So when you're at the bridal shower, you have all the items that the couple wants, and then once someone purchases it, they take that product down. So that way there's no duplicates. And then also promote. In another thing, especially with bridal showers, and the last one I did, I forgot to promote this, but you do want to say, you're getting the bridal shower gift now. Don't forget about the wedding gift. You can also purchase something off of her registry for the wedding, and then give the guests the option to purchase something for themselves as well, because Pampered Chef is great. They're going to see something that they want for themselves. Make sure you tell them that is an option. So, of course, the last one I did was a pretty big one, and I, of course, learned along the way. Some people want stuff shipped to the host. Some people want it shipped to the guest, and then others want it shipped to the bridal or to the bride. So kind of talk to whoever's running it, figure out what the plan is, because of course with direct shipping, and then if you throw in the guest special, I promoted that, and if half of it goes to the bride and half goes to the guest, that can get a little crazy. So you do need to determine, maybe you don't even mention the guest special unless they specifically have $75 or more going to the guest themselves. So just some things to think about, as I've learned the hard way. But that's part of Pampered Chef. You learn as you go, and there's no right or wrong way. It's just what works best for you. Does anyone have any questions so far, or any ideas that they've had for different parties?
Hey, Angie, I started to make that board that you were talking about after I saw you and everything. And I went down to, I think it's Office Max, anyway, one of the office supply places, the one on East Washington and Madison I went to. And I talked to them about the lamination, because you had said something about how hard it was with the tape and everything. Mm-hmm. And it might be cheaper just to go down there with the pictures. I haven't done it yet. I haven't had a bridal registry, but I think it's fairly inexpensive to have them laminate it right there.
Oh, nice.
So so if you brought the pictures down there, I think they'll go ahead and laminate it for you. And it's going to save you a lot of time, and it can't be that expensive.
Oh, no. And laminators cost anywhere between about $12 to $24. And usually when you buy them, they come with a starter pack of sheets. I had just cut the actual square product picture out first and then laminated, because I wanted to have an edge, versus if you laminate the whole sheet and then cut, if it gets wet, you're still wasting it. So, but again, you can do it any variety, and doing the virtual index, the pictures are a little bit smaller, but I had 2 or 3 people walk up to my trifold board and, look at it at a time, and they just, might take a little bit longer just because it's in such a small area, but then they get an idea, and it's more of a hands-on. It's more in front of them versus just looking at a list. They can actually see a product and understand what the couple has requested. Let's see. And then, so I'll just give an example for the bridal shower that I had done. I just came out and asked, do you want me to do some games, or is that something you're going to do? Because some people, they think, oh, Pampered Chef, they're going to do it all for me. So the 3 that I've done so far are going to do, they want to do the games themselves, which is fine by me. One less thing that I have to worry about. But so the one on Saturday that I'm doing, I mentioned margaritas. So they're doing kind of a taco theme. They're providing the tacos and everything, and they're just going to have me make the salsa and the guac, the margaritas, and then I'm going to make whipped cream because it's not a traditional shower. They're just going to buy brownies or something, and then I'm doing the whipped cream. And then they're also having Norwex, so I have to share it. So who knows how that will work. But, again, and I don't treat it as a regular Pampered Chef show because it is about the couple. It is about the bride. I'm not there to try to get bookings or recruit leads, but I'm definitely going to try to get my little 2 cents in there at some point because, this is our job, and, you got to get your name out there and let people know that you're willing to do parties and that kind of stuff. So it's just a short and sweet type of thing that I'm doing. But again, you can get some great sales from doing fundraisers and bridal showers. So like I said, you have to intentionally promote them because you might have it written on your little label. Like I use the same label that Claire does. It has the Pampered Chef logo, my name, my consultant ID, and I don't have one in front of me, but it talks about bridal showers, fundraisers, that kind of stuff. But again, if you don't tell them, not everybody's going to read whatever you have written on a piece of paper in the host packet. You need to tell them. So I always say, if you know anybody getting married or has recently gotten engaged or maybe getting engaged soon, keep this in the back of your head to let them know that Pampered Chef does do bridal showers now. I myself have not investigated the bridal showers on Pampered Chef website. Claire or Mary Lou, have you?
No, I haven't.
Okay. Claire, you have?
Yeah, hooking it up with the show.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've just done one so far, but just hooking it up. And there are directions out there I can post. I know Jennifer Courtney had done a video on that, so I can post that.
Okay. That would be helpful because I know myself, I printed the information off, but to actually sit down and to work on it, I have not done that yet. And I'm like, oh, I probably should look at that. So, and then fundraisers, once you have a show listed as a fundraiser, you cannot change it back. A lot of times if you set up a cooking show and something happens and they're like, oh, I have to change it into a catalog show, you can do that. But once you have it set up as a fundraiser, there's no going back. So it's easier to start it out as a cooking show and then turn it into a fundraiser probably, but that's where you need to talk to the person, your contact, and really find out what are they looking for. Are they looking for product for a silent auction? Are they looking for products to donate to a family, if there was a fire or something like that? Or do they want the money? So you really have to kind of figure out what does the organization, what are they looking for? So you got to ask that kind of question. Let's see. Anything else anybody can think of? Wow, I lasted a whole 15 minutes, Claire.
So I have done a virtual fundraiser and a virtual bridal shower. So for those who are only virtual, those of you who are only virtual, you can do those also. And I just, now you can at least hook up the wish list for the bride and groom. Before I had to have a link, and then you can still highlight just like you do with your virtual shows, but you can highlight some of the other products that we have. But if you even want to say this is on their wish list and, post if you're going to be the one that's going to purchase it, that would be another way. The nice thing about the virtual fundraisers is just like when you're doing a fundraiser, you can be very blatantly talking about selling and because we're raising money. And so reminding them over and over with personal stories about whoever that you're having the fundraiser for. And I've had some very successful fundraisers all virtually too. So the other thing, Aldi's does have a laminator that's very cheap, and their paper for laminating is very cheap. I also did a theme page for all the party packs. So we'll post that. So you can put that into your folders, your customer folders if you want. So that's all. I wrote down some notes while you were talking. Do you have anything else you wanted to share about all those?
One thing, and I've learned this from Claire, is you have to paint a picture of food. A lot of people say, well, what kind of parties do you do? Or what kind of themes? Oh, well, I do chicken fajitas and margaritas. I do soup and salad. Oh yeah. You have to paint a picture for them. Be like, oh my goodness, we make this awesome fajitas. It has great, nice, juicy chicken, has onions and peppers, and then we make homemade salsa to go along with it. It is so good and fresh. Describing it like that, and then you make margaritas, you're talking about the food and you're just making their mouth water when you tell them about it. And it paints a picture for them versus saying, oh, chicken fajitas and margaritas. Yeah, that sounds good. Or, talk about a salad. Oh my gosh, this salad has avocado, it has strawberries, and the salad dressing we actually make by scratch. It is amazing. And then we finish it off by having some homemade sangria that we're going to make, and I can show all your friends and we can share the recipes. You got to talk it up. It's going to be a fun evening. And then especially, summers can be hit or miss. They can be a little hard to get bookings, but like I said, they can be easier. And it's all in how you talk about it. A lot of times people say, well, what's the best day to have a party? Well, if you want to have a party on a Tuesday, say, oh my goodness, Tuesdays are so good. They work 2 days and people just want to, get out for a few hours at night. You got to talk it up whatever day works best for you. If you're not a big weekend person, just say, you know what, Friday nights are awesome though. Everyone's done with a week. They just want to let go and party and have fun. So our lives, yes, some of us work, some not, but still weekends, that can be our family time. And so you need to decide what are your boundaries? What do you want to do for giving your time on the weekend? If you're camping a lot and doing weekend activities, you just have to say, look, these are the days I do my parties and that's it. And most of the time people are willing to kind of give in, if you want to say that, but to pick a date that works for you. And then, talk about, oh my goodness, it's so nice and warm. We can, like I said before, have it outside, enjoy the fresh air. And then that's how you can talk about the different themes. I've done the strawberry, I think it's margarita dip. That was a really good one when they came out with a 9-inch square cool and serve, the small one. That was a new recipe. You can put tequila in it or you can omit it, but either way, it's very good. But we just use different tools that we have, like the pineapple wedger, apple wedger. You can use all those tools just by cutting fruit, and then you make the dip, and you can do that all outside and then make a drink. It's a quick, easy party, and then they can go about their weekend or their evening. So, and you can show a lot of different products off. like the cucumber lime dip. That's a great one to show a lot of products. Otherwise, it's always good to go back to the new consultant recipes. Even though we may not be new consultants, utilize them because they are showing off a lot of the products that the kit has. So don't be afraid to, do some research. And if someone says, I really like chicken, as a consultant, I've gone through the search and gone through the recipes and looked for chicken, and give them options that way. I tend to be more lenient about what people want. Some people have a menu for every month and that's what they do. That's it. So, that's up to you how you want to do that. But if you want to, try a different menu, I need to kind of branch out there. After a while, I get kind of tired of the same thing, but there's some great salads. I know Diane, you've done the Southwest salad, and I know Claire, you have. Diane, are you there? I know you're there. Can you speak?
Yes, I'm there.
Okay.
I've done the Southwest. I do a lot of the fajitas and margaritas. So
Okay.
I kind of do like you do, let them choose the different recipes.
Yep. But you really like the Southwest salad?
Yes.
And
yes.
It does show off a lot of
It's
products.
Right. Yep.
Okay. And you could still use margaritas because it's a Southwest, salad, or you could do the salad and sangria. But, it's a little bit lighter and it's probably healthier than what we usually eat. So, any other questions or comments? And again, wear that logo wear that we have, and then if you have a purse or a hat with Pampered Chef logo, I can't tell you how many times I've gotten people to ask me questions because I've been wearing Pampered Chef logo. Of course, we're out and about more outside, out for walks, going shopping, just outside more with the nice weather. Don't be afraid to show off conversations. Like someone's like, oh, you look really tan. Oh yeah, I just got back from Mexico. I earned a trip through Pampered Chef. Oh really? Wow. That sparks interest with people. So don't be afraid to get that logo wear. I'm looking forward to conference. Hopefully they have some new logo wear out there. My coffee mug is getting yucky. I need a new one. Every day at work, I've got my Pampered Chef coffee mug. And, don't forget, they do have the options for your vehicle to put either the logo itself, or you can put your name and phone number, that kind of stuff, your website. But, that all works. We need to promote Pampered Chef and just have fun with it. It's summer. Don't make it feel like it's a chore because it is summer. Just run with it and have fun, and just the more passion that you show through Pampered Chef and the excitement about these parties is just going to carry you farther with the company and with your business and growing it.
So one of the things that I thought would be helpful that we'll post is a page full of adjectives. And if you find that you keep saying everything is awesome, people get really tired of it. So just take a look at that page and just, be descriptive with your products during your show. It makes it much more interesting. And if you don't believe that, go and watch the Shopping Network for a day, and you will be in tune to all the adjectives that they do use. So that's one of their tricks, and it really does help. So we'll post that. The other thing that I'm going to post is the outline, and that is the company has an incredible outline right now. And Paula, like many moons ago, over the moon, had introduced all of us to the reminder binder. She called it the teleprompter then. And it had pictures for you what to do during your show as a reminder. And then you would put the words behind. And if you are not getting everything into your show in the proper amount of time, 45 minutes, that might be something that really you should look at. And it is something that will help remind you to talk about bookings, help remind you to talk about the business, and just keep you on track. Because if you start eliminating some of those things, you might be wondering, why am I not getting bookings? Well, maybe you're not talking about them. Why am I not getting recruit leads? Well, maybe you're not talking about it. So I highly recommend you check out the outline. And the nice thing is with virtual shows, you can kind of duplicate, because a virtual show really is a live show. It's just on the computer. And one of the things that I am including in there, we talked a little bit about before, were the 3 ways to get the products. Everybody know what they are, how the 3 ways customers can get the products. So that's a really important piece that when I post that, I really want you to practice that. Even read it out loud a couple times before you go to your shows. Even taking your phone and record yourself and listen to it on the way to your show so it's fresh in your mind. And that the 3 ways is also a great thing to put onto your virtual shows live, that they can get the products by purchasing them, by booking a show, or by starting with the business. And all the words are in there and very, very important. So that's a huge, important piece.
And then another thing, Claire, when you were mentioning about, kind of prompts of what to remind you during your show, I have not done this, but I probably should. Just take some curling ribbon that you would find at Christmas time. But if there's something that's a guest special that month or a host special coming up, just tie a ribbon on it, because that's going to prompt you to share them. Oh, or someone's going to be like, why does this have a ribbon on it? Oh my gosh, that's so awesome. Thank you for mentioning that. That's because that is going to be a host special next month. And then, people aren't, afraid to ask questions. Why does this have a ribbon? Or what does this ribbon mean? And then you can tell them. So that's a good way to kind of start a conversation too.
Awesome.
My luggage just came too, by the way.
What was that?
My luggage just came.
Oh, that's awesome. That's
only 9 o'clock.
No, it's not awesome. That is spectacular. Paula, did you have anything that you wanted to share?
You know what? I did. I was thinking tonight, when I knew what the topic was going to be, about being intentional with what it is you're looking for. And I know we didn't talk a lot about virtual, but I know that there's a lot of people that do that. And, just by putting posts out saying, I'm looking for fundraisers, I'm looking for bridal showers, that's not always getting us parties. That's not always getting us business. I think it's important to reach out personally, whether you, send them a personal message, text them, email them, call them. One thing that I have done, and I've gotten quite a few bridal showers, is that I will ask people, do you know of anyone that's getting married in the next 6 months? And then they'll get back to me and tell me who is. Or when I have put the post up about bridal showers, or I post a picture of a bride, I will see that someone tags someone else, and I'll go and send them a friend request and say, something about doing Pampered Chef bridal showers if they'd like some information. So we can't just throw posts up there and think it's going to work. We need to be intentional about reaching out to people, asking. Now, I know if anyone's getting married the next few months, the bridal showers are already planned. People have already registered. So you might want to start asking, do you know of anyone that's getting married late this summer or in the fall? And you have to be specific about what it is. Like Angie talked about, being specific about what it is you're looking for. And you'll be surprised that people will say, oh yeah, my cousin's getting married this fall. But they're not realizing that when they just see a post out there that you're doing, if that all makes sense. Same thing with a fundraiser. You've got to call a few people that are teachers and ask, them, do you know of any, classes that are working on, fundraisers for, a class trip. And a lot of schools have classes looking for fundraisers or working on fundraisers. So, we need to be a little more intentional and reach out to people and ask what it is we're looking for.
Good advice. Do you have anything else?
Wasn't that enough, Claire?
It can be enough.
Okay.
I know
Okay,
we're all
Claire.
tired.
Yes. Yeah.
So I'm gonna stop. Is that everything, Angie?
That's everything I have on my notes.
Okay.
Slide, you might see how someone, makes, does garnishing. You might see how someone sells a specific product. Just different fun things for the summer. So it's not going to be half-hour trainings. It's not going to be hour trainings. It's just going to be something fun once a week on Sunday nights at 8 o'clock. So it will be called Summer of Fun Training. We don't have the logistics, but we're thinking about getting it started already next week. So you'll have to stay tuned for more information on that.
Sounds good.